What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2020 movie Wonder Woman 1984. So in this movie, a botched store robbery places Wonder Woman in a global battle against a powerful and mysterious ancient force that puts her powers in jeopardy. So this is a pretty good movie. I like this one quite a bit. I don't think it's near as good as the first one, but I think it's still a good movie. The story is pretty good here and everything. I like how she is up against two new foes and everything, and Maxwell Lord, played by Pedro Pascal. He's a very good villain. I think that he fits the movie really well. He's kind of a little campy and over the top, but he does a great job at playing the villain. He's just a really likable actor and everything. He's one of those actors that you can't help but love him when he's on screen and everything, and he's good in this movie. The action scenes are awesome in this movie, especially the road chase scene that felt like a nod to Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was really good and everything, and there was a lot of really fun moments throughout that scene and everything. It's pretty intense too when she's like hanging under the car and stuff and everything, but there's some pretty cool scenes in the scene where she flips the car over and she goes flying in the air and everything. Just really fun scene and everything. Seeing her swing from the lasso like she's Spider-Man or something like that. It's just really fun to watch and everything. I think Gal Gadot is once again great as Diana Prince and Wonder Woman. I think her performance is really good in this movie and everything. I think she did a great job and everything. I don't think she's quite as good in this one as she was the first one, but she's still really good in here. And Hans Zimmer's score is pretty good. It's not the best score in the DCEU. It's not even as good as the score from the first Wonder Woman movie, but it's still pretty good and everything. The CGI is pretty good too. It holds up pretty well. It doesn't look really that bad and everything. Like the CGI on Cheetah looks pretty good and everything. And I love the 80s setting and everything, and the look and feel of the movie. It feels like it was made in the 80s at times and everything. It just, the cinematography is really good in this movie, and the feel of the movie is just really good. I love how it feels like a 80s movie and everything. And it is pretty campy at times too, and I love that. I love campy superhero movies because my favorite superhero movies are the Spider-Man trilogy that Sam Raimi did in the 2000s, and they are as campy as you can get and everything, and this movie is really campy too, and I love that about it. As far as negatives go, I'll say that Chris Pine wasn't as good as he usually is in movies. I think this is one of my least favorite performances of his and everything that I've seen. He just wasn't near as good this time around, and his chemistry with Gal Gadot is not near as good as it was either. As it was in the first movie. They had great chemistry in the first movie. That was one of the best things about the first movie, was their chemistry. In this one, the chemistry just isn't there and everything. It's gone and everything. And I felt Cheetah was underwhelming. She was an underwhelming villain, and Kristen Wiig was pretty miscast and everything. When I first heard she was going to be playing Cheetah, I was like, why? And everything. And I was hoping that this was going to be a case like Ant-Man. When I first heard Paul Rudd was going to play Ant-Man, I was like, how is that going to work? But it worked out perfectly for him, where Kristen Wiig, I felt, was just really miscast and underused in this movie. They didn't really do much with her. They did the same trope that they do in some superhero movies where the villain is nerdy and stuff, and then they get their powers and let the powers control them and stuff. Everything. We've seen that done in Batman Forever with Jim Carrey's Riddler, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Electro and stuff. So I think that this wasn't really anything new as far as villain art goes and everything, and I just didn't really like it. And I think that Kristen Wiig, who is a very funny comedian and great actress and everything, I think she's great. I just felt like she was miscast for this movie. She just does not fit the role of a villain. Everything. She's too likable to be a villain, if that makes sense. Everything. It didn't work like it did with Jim Carrey or Jamie Foxx either, and everything. This was like a pale imitation of what they did But aside from that, I don't have any other complaints really. I think this movie is fine. It's not the best DCEU movie. It's not the worst either. It's just a fine sequel that's not as strong as the first, but still a good enough time and everything. So I'd say I'd give Wonder Woman 1984 a 7 out of 10. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.